Good morning, Bitcoiners. Welcome once again to Bitcoin for me. I'm Morton Jan. We're going to talk about Bitcoin, crypto assets, technology, and the future. Bitcoin for me, Morton is a book that is available on Amazon. And but if you don't want to buy it, I will send it to you for free. And just ask for it below in the comments. Here we don't give financial advice. We give education and entertainment. Okay, let's have a look at the markets. What's going on today? Bitcoin has taken a dip, and most of the other crypto as well. We've gone down in Bitcoin to 27,000 from 30,000, and the rest has fared a lot worse, especially Ethereum, Solana, Dogecoin, Cardano, and all that. We can see the heat map here. Everything is in red. Bitcoin is losing right now 4% in 24 hours. Ethereum is losing the same, and it's very little in green right now. Let's have a look at why this is happening and what is a good strategy to do in these bear markets. Okay, the fear is extreme at the moment. 14 is really high. But it's gonna go even higher because in a few hours they're gonna refresh this this data, and it will go below. It will go below 10 for sure. All the markets are in panic right now, and not just Bitcoin, not just crypto, but everything. The stock market, bonds, house market, gold. Every single financial asset is going down because it's panic, and that includes fiat money, which is the dollar, the pound, and the euro. Here we can see the dip Bitcoin has taken lately, and it was trying to recover part of it, but it's now going down again. I think it's in the short run, although it's very difficult to predict, but in the short term it will recover a little bit of that and go back to 30,000, which is being more or less stable in that zone for the last few weeks. Let's have a look. Okay, but even though Bitcoin is going down in price, let's have a look at what else is going down in price. What else is losing value? Well, let me tell you what else is losing value. The US dollar is losing value. The euro is losing value. The British pound are losing value. And the main difference between those and Bitcoin is that Bitcoin will eventually recover and go up. It's going to bounce back into 30,000, 35,000, 40,000, and we might even go to 100,000 in the next few months, or if not later, if not earlier, in 2024 with the next halving. But the dollar will never recover. The pound will never recover. The euro will never recover. In fact, the euro probably is going to disappear. This is the purchasing. Well, you might think that you need money to survive, which is true, but you don't really want money as such. What you want is the ability to buy stuff. You want to be able to buy petrol, pay for the bills, pay for the electricity, buy clothes, buy food. That's what you really want, and that is reflected in the purchasing power of your currency. Your currency is probably the pound or the dollar or the euro or whatever. But look at the dollar. If you had $100 in 2000, in the year 2000, or 22 years ago, you could buy a lot of things with $100. But now with the same $100 bill, you can only buy $57.80 worth of stuff. So you have lost in that $100 bill, for every $100 bill, you had lost 43% of value. So basically, roughly speaking, you need $200 to buy the same thing that you were able to buy 20 years ago. And this is gonna keep going and going and going down, lower and lower and lower. This is why you need to protect your assets. This is why you shouldn't keep any money in fiat, because fiat is going down to zero. Fiat is going down to zero, and you need to protect yourself against inflation. Inflation is here to stay. It's gonna be, and you see the governments. This is in this graph we can see the difference between the CPI inflation is what the government publishes as the real figures, but that's not true. These are made up figures. In red, we had CPI inflation, which is right now near 10%. But in blue, we had real inflation that some independent companies go out in the market and check prices in the supermarket, petrol, for electricity, for everything, and they check what are the real prices of things, of goods, compared to last year. And as you can see here, it's exactly double. So real inflation right now is about 16-17% a year. So you are losing more or less 20% a year of your purchasing power, because your salary is not going up. Your salary is not gonna go up 20%. If you're lucky, your salary will go up 3%, 5%, something like that. So the main argument for investing in Bitcoin is that you are losing purchasing power. You need purchasing power to be able to eat, to feed yourself, to feed your family, to pay for the petrol for your car. So if you don't have that, you have nothing. You are like the people in Venezuela that have many millions, but those millions of bolivars are worth nothing. And again, this is the worth of the dollars across time. 100 years ago, if you had $26, now it's only worth $1. So that's a loss of purchasing power of 98%. And the dollar, I remind you, is the strongest fiat currency. If you're talking about the pound and the euro, they are weaker currencies. And if you go to any African or Latin America or Asian currency, they are worth nothing at all. That's why the world needs a strong currency, hard money, sound money, something that cannot be devalued, and something that cannot be printed away like crazy, like they do. All the Federal Reserve and the central bank are printing money like crazy, and making the money supply infinite, and the value, because of that, the value is going to zero. Bitcoin there's only 21 million Bitcoin, and that is very scarce, and that is why this is why it's very similar to gold. Gold and Bitcoin are extremely scarce, and they tend to go up in value over time. Scarcity is the best protection against inflation. And here again, some people say, oh, but Bitcoin is volatile, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. Yes, it goes up and then goes down, and then it goes up and then it goes down, then it goes up, it goes down, and so on. But it was here 13 years ago, it was worth zero 13 years ago, and now it's worth $27,000. So you can see the trend, and this is not going to stop. In 2024, it's probably going to be worth more than 100,000, probably 150,000, because there is the next halving. And in 2030, it will go to $1 million per Bitcoin. And you can compare it here again with the dollar, and the dollar since the beginning, since the 100 years ago, it has gone from 1 to almost 0. So if you put your money in fiat, it's going to 0. If you put your money in Bitcoin, it's going to the moon. Simple maths. When you divide infinite supply, which is the dollar, between limited supply, which is Bitcoin, the result of this division is infinite, and that is the price of Bitcoin. Also, this week we have the US Senators Kirsten Gillibrand and Cynthia Lummis. These two ladies are trying to regulate Bitcoin, to regulate the crypto assets, and they have presented a bill in the Senate to basically to establish some policies to how to move forward with these financial assets, which are again cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and all that. No? These are, especially Cynthia Lummis, is very much pro-Bitcoin, and it's very good that politicians are waking up to the fact that we need to regulate this market. It's a long interview here. You can watch on YouTube or on CoinDesk. It's quite interesting, the thing they say, but pretty much they say, what they say is in the crypto markets you can consider the different cryptocurrencies as securities or as commodities. If they are considered commodities, the regulation is going to be very favorable. There won't be many problems with that. The politicians don't have many problems with commodities. Commodities are, for example, gold. Gold is a commodity. And Bitcoin has been considered by these two ladies as a commodity. They reckon that Ethereum, the second coin, the second cryptocurrency, is also a commodity, but it seems to transpire from the paper, from the bill, that the rest are securities. And if securities are regulated by the Security and Exchange Commission, and the regulations are much stricter in a way. So if they are considered securities, that means that they're going to have a lot of problems surviving. So I could see a lot of problems with Solana, Cardano, Avalanche, and other currencies, because they will probably be considered securities. Also, I want to show you a video here from Janet Yellen. We have good politicians like Cynthia Lummis, and we have the people from the Central Bank of Europe, like Christine Lagarde, and from the Treasury in the US, and from the Federal Reserve, that they don't really have a clue about the economy. They don't have a clue about inflation, and they are making one mistake after another. Let me show you this sort of video that plays. This is Janet Yellen, the Secretary of Treasury, apologizing for her mistakes.
I think I was wrong then about the path that inflation that I at the time didn't fully understand.
This is going over 8 trillion euros now.
This is Christine Lagarde.
Welcome. In due course, yeah.
How?
In due
How?
course, it will come.
But do you sleep at night when you see this?
This is a very, very good video. Yeah, basically we heard Janet Yellen saying that, I'm sorry, I apologize, I didn't realize that printing $8 trillion in 1 year and increasing the money supply by 40% was going to lead to inflation. I mean, if you don't know that, why are you doing that job? Why? I mean, why? Everybody knows that. Even my dog knows that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, and also Christine Lagarde from the European Central Bank, ECB, when asked by the interviewer, said, so how are you going to fix that? How are you going to fix inflation now after you've been printing 8 trillion euros in 1 year? And she said, oh, don't worry, it will come. The problem will sort itself out. So basically, another one that hasn't got a clue about that. About she's making prices go up, inflation. A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people are having very serious financial difficulties, and she has not a clue about what to do about it. And the worst thing is that she is the culprit. She has provoked this situation by printing too much money, and that's why we need solid assets, something like, things like Bitcoin, things like gold, because these cannot be printed by governments. Also, this is a joke. Is inflation affecting your family? No, 124%. Yes, 195%. Well, it's obviously a joke. even the inflation numbers go even into these figures, right? That's why it's more than 100%. Also, I want to show you this video. This video is quite interesting. Look at this. These are children, obviously in a very poor area of South Africa. These children have been they're basically learning to buy stuff and pay with Bitcoin, because with Bitcoin you have the money in your pocket, you have the money in your phone, and you don't need a bank, you don't need cash, you don't need, for those people that have difficulties access, they have no access to a network of banks and credit and all that, they can use Bitcoin, and they can transfer the little money that they have into Satoshis or Bitcoin, and they can pay for goods using that. So Bitcoin is very promising in many parts of the world, like in Africa and South America, because it doesn't need intermediaries, it doesn't need a middleman, it doesn't need corrupt politicians and officials. You just need a wallet in your phone, you just download the money there and you pay for it. So this is Bitcoin is bringing a lot of hope to these countries. And also, yeah, the price of Bitcoin is going down now. But this is me when Bitcoin did below 30,000. I sleep very well. And this is me also when the price of Bitcoin jumps above 40,000. It doesn't matter, because when you know the fundamentals of Bitcoin, when you know there's only 21 million, when you know it's very scarce, when you know it's very, very solid, when you know it's so much better than the dollar, than the pound, than the euro, than fiat money, you sleep very well at night, and you don't care about volatility. Hey, yeah, it might go up 5,000, it might go down 10,000, it might go up 100,000. It doesn't matter. Okay, guys, this is all I got for today. Thank you for watching the video. I will try to make another video in the next few days, and please follow me, subscribe, press the thumbs up, and comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.